Connor McDavid, immortalized as probably the best NHL player for the next 10 years, pretty much. He's pretty much given himself that title, and everybody can't do anything but agree. He's tearing up the NHL. We know how good he is. He was supposed to be this good, so none of us are surprised. However, Connor McDavid's season this year, where he is, bar none, the best player in the year, 76 points in 49 games thus far, he is totally just dominating in a class of his own. Well, not really of his own. He's got his buddy Draisaitl there with him. But what if I told you that Connor McDavid may never have been the same again if a few decisions earlier last year had been a little bit different? I didn't see anybody talk about this here on Hockey YouTube, but I think it's a big enough story that it warrants at least a video from me here. Even though I am a Canucks fan, I don't like the Oilers. But what I do like is some good hockey. And what Connor McDavid brings is some really gosh darn good hockey. So for me to tell this story, it does kind of tear a few of the strings in my heart, because just trying to understand the alternate possibilities, it's pretty scary. Last year, in the 2018-19 season, Connor McDavid flew into the Calgary Flames post, coming in off the right wing with some high-speed play. Mark Giordano kind of interfered with the legs as McDavid was cutting towards the net. McDavid fell down and slid knee first into the post. This was all the way back in April, and it's something that a lot of people were really concerned about. However, the media was only told, hey, it's a slight PCL tear. So that didn't sound all too bad. Eventually, McDavid healed up, the season started, and he went on this tear, which we know that he's going to go on. But that's not all that meets the eye. Let's go over here to Ryan Rishog's tweet on Twitter, because he posts a screenshot that I'm going to read to you here that goes over just the intricacies of Connor McDavid's knee injury. What wasn't just a slight PCL tear, but in fact was a whole lot more. After speaking with a member of McDavid's camp, here's some follow-up on his knee injury. Roughly 10 days after the injury, Connor McDavid was informed that major reconstructive surgery was required on his torn PCL. It would have cost him the entire 2019-20 season and would have involved grafts and screws and could have fundamentally changed the way his knee worked and the way he skated. They sought out 3 more opinions, and the option of rehab was presented, which McDavid took. It had its risks, as there was no guarantee McDavid's PCL would heal properly on its own, but a strict regimen of stabilization, diet, and thorough rehab allowed it to heal. They kept the information extremely guarded through the process, not wanting the hailstorm of questions about his future to come while he was working to get back. It certainly explains the tension in McDavid at training camp when talking about his recovery and how his knee felt. Presented as a slight PCL tear, this was in fact a major knee injury that Connor McDavid suffered. Just take a look at that right here. McDavid was given 2 options, surgery or rehab. The rehab was not guaranteed to actually work all the way, but the surgery was something that would have fundamentally changed the way his knee worked and the way he skated. He would have had screws and all this other stuff inserted into his knee. Now, not only would that have cost the entire 2019 season, but the fact that that would change his skating fundamentals is even bigger to me than just missing measly 1 year. Because taking a look at how McDavid plays the game, The most important part of his game, it's his skating. It's the way he's able to whistle by guys, just absolutely shred the competition with bursts of speed and agility. And if you start inserting screws and gaffs all into McDavid's knee, which would change the way he is skating, who knows how effective Connor McDavid would have been even once the thing healed. In 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, would we still have seen the same McDavid that we've come to know and love? Which is why it's so scary to think about, and it's why I've labeled this video the way I have. If they went the surgery route, we could have very well seen the last of the Connor McDavid we know and love all the way back in April of 2019. We would have seen a different Connor McDavid once he had returned. Because the possibility of changing up the entire way he skates removes Connor McDavid from Connor McDavid. That's scary. That is really scary. And as a result, Connor McDavid wanted to go the rehab route. Even though it wasn't guaranteed, the option for success was more likely with the rehab route, in my opinion, because the rehab was just, okay, if it doesn't heal, it doesn't heal. You're still out. But if it does heal, you're back to normal, and you're back to the same McDavid that we all know and love. Which is why it's kind of a miracle that he's still here. 76 points in 49 games after healing up via rehab, after avoiding the option of losing out your entire skating fundamental set in the matter of minutes with a surgery. Let's go over onto 31 Thoughts, because 31 Thoughts also starts off talking about this same McDavid story. This is what Connor McDavid said about his injury once it happened. I thought my leg was in 2 pieces. I held it together until we got through the tunnel. I was a mess. This is what Connor McDavid's agent Jeff Jackson said. Connor McDavid told me, I don't want to be a hero piece, but if it shows other athletes that you don't have to miss a full season, that you can attempt something that isn't normal, he was good with that. I think it's worth noting that athletes, NHL players, they're not like you and me. These guys have incredible bodies that can just heal at astounding rates compared to the average human being. Connor McDavid is no exception. He is the best hockey player in the world. He is the one true specimen of a speedy, skilled center who can just blister by guys and score at will. This is what he was going through. This is the voiceover by Anthony Maschia, who is a radiologist and director of MRI. The posterior cruciate ligament is cut right in half. The back of the knee joint, there's a lining. It's completely torn. Not only a bone bruise, but a crack in the front of his tibia. That is what Connor McDavid had to go through, and they decided to go the rehab route. Give it a few months, and Connor McDavid was fully healed. I, for one, am just so incredibly shocked that the media was not able to get a hold of this, and I'm really giving it up over here. Mega props to the McDavid camp, the doctors, and everybody for being able to keep this a secret for so long. Sure, taking a look at it like 8 or 9 months after the fact, it doesn't really feel as impactful as it probably would have back then. But imagine if that came out in the middle of April. Connor McDavid gets injured, and all of a sudden, it leaks out to the media that if he has a surgery to fix it, he will miss the rest of the next year, and his skating will be forever changed. How would the fans, the media, the league have reacted to that? I'd be pissed. I would be so upset to be robbed of a full career of Connor McDavid because of one play where he's driving to the net and Mark Giordano wipes him out. I guess we just gotta be really thankful that hockey players can heal at extraordinary rates, and that Connor McDavid is okay. Hope you enjoyed this video social line, and bye.